Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live English lesson with me, teacher Zdenek. And today it's one of the students from the Yeshiva's chamber. It's Jolly today. Hi, Jolly. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. And you?
Not bad, not bad.
hmm
Happy to see you again, of course.
Hello,
So,
everyone.
yeah, Jolly from Spain. Am I saying
Yes,
it right?
yes. Here I
Yolanda.
am. Here I am.
Your name is Yolanda, actually,
My name
isn't
is
it?
Yolanda. Yes, but Jolly is shorter, easier, friendlier. I don't know.
And it
Yolanda
allows.
sounds like more serious, I would
Mm,
say.
also, it allows me to say jolly good, which is
Yes.
a little joke, I guess.
hmm
Uh, all right, Jolly, what are we going to talk about today?
Horror movies.
Who chose this topic? Who
I
chose this
chose
topic?
it. I chose it
Why?
because I
Okay.
love horror movies. And not many people like horror movies. In fact, I think I don't have any close friends that like horror movies. The only person uh, uh, I can watch films with is
hmm
my boyfriend. Yeah, who also likes them.
Well, you could say your
We
boyfriend is
both.
your close friend anyway, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
that
Well,
count that
when
count
I
that
said
counts.
close friends, I was thinking about girls. Yeah, women.
Generally, people you don't make love with. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Speaking speaking of making love, Jolly, do you know that?
I knew it. You were going to say it. Say
Did
it,
you
say
know
it.
that today's lesson is has the number 96?
96.
No, 69.
69. Zdenek.
96 doesn't work that well.
No. So
No.
69, yeah. Magic number.
But we are talking about horror movies here, not
hmm
anything else. So,
No.
Jolly, tell us,
Yes. About horror movies.
what
Oh,
do you
what do you
like about
like?
what do you like about horror movies? Explain that to us.
Um, I like the fact, or yeah, well, let's think about it. I like the way they make you feel. I know this might sound a bit strange because nobody likes to feel, like fear or anxiety or. But for me, it's a way of keeping me like focused on what I'm watching.
hmm
I'm really curious about it, and it generates like more interest. So I like that feeling of being on the edge of the sofa and like how do you call I think there was an adjective, nail biting, could
Nail
be
biting,
nail biting.
nail
That's it.
biting, yeah, nail
Nail
biting
biting. Yeah.
moments, yeah. hmm
So yeah, I think that's the main reason why we, me and my boyfriend we like to watch horror movies.
Do you
Um,
think there could be any other reasons for other people who like watching horror movies, or are these sort of applicable to all horror movie fans?
mm,
Could there be some? Okay, I'm gonna ask in a little bit weird way now, but could there be some just, let's say, people with psychopathic
yeah, I
tendencies
was
that, yeah.
I was
mm,
thinking just about that. I was thinking about it. There could be some problems, in people's minds sometimes, and they just like to watch these movies because they like to watch blood or
people suffer.
murders
Mm.
or, people dying or I don't like that, by the way. I don't like gory films, for example.
Disclaimer: Jolly is not one of those people.
No, 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 no. I hope not.
Well,
I hope not.
I don't know you enough, but we could ask your boyfriend.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. Definitely not. No, I'm
Oh,
not that kind of.
maybe she has already killed him every once.
Although my parents sometimes they have told me like, Jolly, you have a problem in your mind. Because sometimes I recommend films like, oh, mom, you have to watch this film.
Mm.
And then she tells me, Jolly, you have a problem. Like,
After watching it,
after watching it.
maybe she tells you have a problem even when you tell your mom the name of the film. Sometimes it's in the name, right? You
Yeah.
already you're already afraid just reading the title of the film.
Hmm.
Okay, so it could be that some people just love watch other people suffer and stuff like that
Hmm.
as well, right? So
They find
yep,
pleasure in watching
yep,
that. I don't know. Could be.
yeah, absolutely. They derive pleasure
Well,
from
if
it.
you if you think about the like real cases, um, murderers, yeah, or there are some documentary films about and series. There are crime series about it. People with this kind of disorder, they
Hmm?
they just find
Wicked,
pleasure in
yeah, wicked mind, we could call it. They have a
wicked
wicked,
mind,
they have a wicked mind, or twisted mind, maybe.
twisted mind. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna disappoint you, Jolly, but I'm not one of those people, and I don't even watch horror movies for other
Hmm.
reasons either. So to be honest, I'm not a big fan of them. Although it's possible that I like some elements that you may find in horror movies. I like it in other types of films. So we're gonna
Hmm.
get to that later. I've got one more question that will lead to us. Lead that will
Lead us to.
lead us to it. Thank you.
Okay.
Right. I would also like to say hi to Max.
Hello, Max.
Thanks for saying hi in the comments. Everyone, you guys can do that as well because we would like to know who is watching, of course. And yeah, I wanted to say why, but you don't have to do that. Right. So today we are talking about horror movies, and I'm asking Jolie a lot of questions, but obviously you are free to answer these questions yourselves. So why do you, or do you, first of all, do you watch horror movies? And if so, why? And do you think we missed some reasons why people watch horror movies? Tell us in the comments. It's your chance to um, practice writing, uh, interact with us,
Hmm.
and what else could it be? It's if you
Well, these
if
are the
you're
two main reasons, I would say.
I can think of the third reason. What if they have just seen a really scary horror movie? Maybe this might be the way for them to sort of uh, feel feel good again or something like that. Just to be
I'm not
scared
sure.
a little bit. Okay, so they have just seen a horror movie. They are
Yeah.
scared. They've had this emotional experience. So what if
Hmm.
this might be a way for them to cool down?
Mm,
Something like that. Okay,
could be. I don't
that
know.
doesn't seem to work for Jolly, but
It's a bit strange reason, but it might be.
I come up with a lot of strange things, especially on this YouTube
Strange
channel.
Things. Have you watched Strange Things, the series?
Isn't it called
That's
Stranger Things?
Stranger Things. Yes, that's it.
Yeah. I have seen the
That's kind of
first.
a horror. Horror
Is it? Isn't
contains a
isn't
lot of
it? Isn't
horror
it?
elements. Yeah.
It does, but isn't it like a kids TV show?
Well, it's a bit scary in my opinion.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
I don't think a kid maybe well nowadays times have changed. Children right now are not the same children we used to be in the past. I mean,
you and
we
I.
have a different level
Okay.
if you think about it.
Mm,
So I can't think about myself
yeah.
when I was 12 watching this type of horror movies or horror series. But nowadays, children with 10 years old and they watch it, they have no problem.
Mm.
They are not scared of anything.
Okay, if you say so. Well, personally,
I think
that
so.
was the main reason I stopped watching it. I did like it. I have to say, I liked especially the first season. I
Hmm.
think I've seen the second season too, but I stopped kind of in the middle of the third season, which tells you everything you need to know. And I think the main reason is I generally don't like to watch TV shows where the majority of the cast are teenagers or just like young. very young adults. I would say, like, mostly they are teenagers. Let's be honest.
Hmm.
High school students or whatever. I'm just not that into that kind of thing. I don't mind if you have some characters that are of that age. That's totally fine with me. But if the whole show is just about this age group, usually I'm not that interested.
Yeah.
The exception to this was a TV show, because I love TV shows more than films, um, about zombies, because I love zombies, and
Oh,
I don't know if
we
it
are
was
all
a whole.
dead. We are all
Yeah,
dead.
it's Korean. It was a
Hmm.
Korean TV show about school children, I would say, and they were
Hmm.
all kind of teenagers. I like that. There was a lot of like pathos and stuff like that. That some cringe-worthy stuff too, but I thought it was well made, and I like zombies, so I couldn't help watching. But with Stranger Things, it just doesn't doesn't do it for me. But I
Okay.
understand the appeal, and I think it's well made, and it has really good ratings, and no surprise. Yeah. Anyway, Jolly,
Yeah.
I
Let's
should let
continue.
you talk as well. So we've kind of started mentioning a few names here, films, TV shows. So uh, what are some other famous horrors or horror movies, I should say, right? Horror movies. Let's put it like this.
Famous horror movies. The
Hmm.
best horror movies of all times.
Yeah, something like that.
Um, yeah. So I have to mention The Exorcist, for example. I think that was a movie that was like a turning point in the horror cinema or the horror
Industry or
movies
yeah. Mm.
industry. Yeah. Um, what
You
else?
know,
What else?
I used to see I I've seen some myself, but it was like back then when I was younger. I think I was
Hmm.
just curious. You know how when you are a teenager, you sort of watch
Hmm.
all sorts of movies. You kind of want to try this and that and the other. And horror movies was one of them. And I think I've seen Saw,
Yeah.
the uh,
But that one is
Texas.
yeah,
Sorry,
that one is kind of gory. Can you say
yeah,
gory?
no,
Yeah.
but I know what the word means. Yeah, full of blood and
Like full of
violence and
blood and
yeah.
pieces of bodies and things like that.
Human bodies
Human bodies and
mostly. Even though
fingers, heads, you know. I don't really like that. I know I'm gonna find this kind of stuff in a horror movie. I know it,
exactly,
but
yeah,
I
it's good.
don't, this is some I don't like movies just about that,
Hmm. So
you know.
what? Okay, so what needs to be in your favorite horror movie then, if not fingers,
I think
heads,
it's the
and hands?
psychological fear more
Ah,
than anything else, more than watching people kill people, you know? Um,
yes, I see.
maybe, this kind of like unexplained things that happened, ghosts or spirits or
Supernatural phenomena.
supernatural phenomenon, or even if we talk about aliens or um, the outer space, maybe that's something that really creates fear. Um, yeah, so these are the elements
Hmm.
I really like about horror movies, more than blood and people killing and
Yeah. Okay,
zombies
good.
is something I don't really like.
See, I like zombies, but then a
Yeah.
lot of people would say this zombie genre. Is it really a horror? Like, is it really a
Which one?
horror subgenre? I don't think so.
Oh,
Zombies.
zombies. Oh, okay.
It is and it isn't, right? Because like it's so common and the zombies are so slow that I think it's not the main thing. The main thing is about the survival and what it does to the society, and those are the main sort of
Hmm.
themes rather than just it being about being scared. Yeah,
I think
it is there a little bit, but not enough, I think.
I think there were two films that I can remember about zombies that I really liked. One was World War Z,
Mm, yeah, it's a classic.
um, and the other one Train to Busan.
What's that?
Train to Busan or Busan or I don't know.
Ah,
Have you
okay.
watched it? I
I
think
may have
it's,
not.
I
I
don't know
may
if
have
it's
not seen
Japanese,
it.
Chinese,
I can't remember. I can't. I may have
or
seen it.
Alien. Max says Alien, the very first one. Yeah,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
one is amazing.
Alien. Jolly. Alien. Yeah.
Alien. Sorry. Yeah.
Alien. Alien. Yeah.
Hmm.
I was right. I'm making notes about some stuff here. So it's one of the things we need to discuss later. Alien. Yeah. You're right. It was about
Alien.
something that grew inside of people's body, right? Or some.
Yes.
And then it sort of killed. Oh god. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's such an old film that yeah, people have stopped watching now. So if you're eating dinner right now, I'm sorry, guys. Right. So where were we, Jolly? So we yeah. I also remember watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So one of
But
those films that have such
yeah.
such a such name that sort of tells you everything you need to know what it's going to be about.
Hmm. Yes. And it's, in my opinion, that's not a very good movie. I mean,
You know what I think? I think it's such a clickbait. It's like a click. It's clickbaits. I don't think when this movie was released, any people knew what the word clickbait even meant. But that was like the first clickbait they made. It's like a father of all clickbaits. This because I think so many people just remembered that film, or so many people gave that film a chance just because of that title, because it's such a vivid title. Yeah,
sorry,
that's all right.
not one of my favorites. I've seen it, I've watched it,
Mm, mm,
but then there are other kind of films I really enjoy. The ones, not all of them, because not all of them are well done, let's say, but the ones based on Stephen King's books
mm,
are, because Stephen
yeah.
King knows perfectly how to mix horror with fantasy, and
Hmm.
so this combination, I think, is really good at the time of uh, going to the cinema,
Yeah.
watching a movie of this type. So yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think we have got someone watching. I think they have an Irish name,
yeah.
Caitlin. Caitlin. I sometimes struggle with pronouncing Irish names, so hello. Thanks,
Caitlin,
Caitlin.
Caitlin,
Caitlin.
maybe.
Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but notoriously I find the pronunciation difficult. And Max says these are
Pet
some
Cemetery.
other
Yeah,
films which I think were released before I was even born. So
that was the year I was born,
there
actually,
you go. It was 1 year before I was born.
and I watched both,
Mhm.
and they are really good. N- There was a new film
Well, hang
released.
on, hang on. You have to answer
Yeah,
this question. You said they were released when you were born. Then the next thing you said
no.
was, well, hang on. The next thing you said was that I watched those films. So I wonder, did you actually watch them when you were 1 year old?
When I was a baby.
Yeah.
No. So that was the year I was born. I
Mm.
watched these two films
Later on, not
at
like
some point in my life, not when I was born,
so
obviously.
when you were like 5 or 10 or something like that.
No,
It
no.
explains a lot actually. I've been wondering about you for all sorts of reasons. But now I think I understand more. You've helped me to put the pieces together. Thanks for that. Um, Max says that now with new technologies, movies are not that scary. Not as scary, you want to say, Max? Not as scary as they used to be.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
agree.
All right. Um, okay. Well, like I said, I don't really watch horror movies anymore. So I think it's because I like I like other genres more. So, for
Hmm.
example, I like spy movies, spy films. I even
Hmm.
like detective movies or like police, wherever there's police or something. I like that. And I like to be scared a little bit. I like a little bit of sort of thrill in
Yeah.
films, but this is going a bit too far. And I almost feel like it's gonna sound weird, but like the element of surprise is gone from those films from because I like twists in films. I like to be surprised. I like to be shocked. And that doesn't happen for me in horror movies. Because
Yeah.
it's
Well,
I-
it's
I'm gonna make a terrible comparison here, but it's like watching porn. You know exactly what's going to happen there. So it's boring.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So in a way, but it's exactly the same with horror movies. You kind of know exactly what's going to happen. Someone is gonna die, or somebody is gonna be really scared, and
yeah.
someone's fingers are going to be cut off. So you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean, and it's difficult, and it happens to me as well. It's really difficult to find nowadays to find a really good horror movie.
Hmm.
You need to, well, sometimes you are lucky, right? And you discover films and say, oh, look, I'm going to watch this. You have to watch a lot of movies. And then, surprisingly, one of those is going to be good,
Hmm.
so it's difficult to find good movies, horror movies
Yeah.
nowadays. But I think it happens the same with, for example, the superheroes movies, which
Oh,
are,
I don't watch those. It's for me. That's
I don't
just
like them. I
I
don't
don't like
like
them
them because
either.
I think they're all the same,
Mm. I think
It's,
part of the reason I don't like them is I just didn't grow up watching like a lot of people sort of grew up watching Marvel movies, right? And it's
hmm.
just part of their childhood. And okay, I've seen Superman and I liked Superman, I have to say, but or Batman, but it wasn't like those films are like classics, right? But then like with the whole industry and the Captain America and whatnot, it just I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, I can't get excited about that. I
No,
just,
me neither.
yeah. And then some people might be wondering, "But you like zombies? What's special about that?" So much, so much. Yeah, it's not about the biting. It's just that there is a world which is like alternative universe, let's say, in which this is happening. Yeah, so it's something that is almost realistic because you are sort of imagining like what it would do with the civilization, how it would collapse, what it does to people, how they start behaving in a different way, how the worst sort of the worst instincts are unleashed when you're in danger, and how people become selfish, how they want to protect themselves first, and those who don't follow these rules, they
How far they would
if
go,
and if you're
or
too nice, you're gonna get killed. And like it's so interesting to explore the human psychology.
it's like a
And
social
yeah,
experiment, or yeah.
exactly. I love
Hmm.
that aspect of it. And then the zombies, it's more like the background there. It's kind of funny. I also like it as a sort of like funny aspect. For me, it makes
Hmm.
me laugh. Like the zombies, I just like just bite each other. Speaking of zombies, did you know that there's a really good TV show that is trending right now called The Last of Us?
Yes, but I think it's going to be released in Apple TV. Could it be? Is it Apple TV or HBO?
I think it's on HBO.
HBO, and I
Mm.
don't, I don't have a subscription
I
to
don't have it
HBO.
either, but I have managed to see it somehow.
Yeah, but I would like to play the video game, to be honest, because my brother told me about it. Like, he told me so many times, like, Yoli, you will love this game. You have to play this game.
I think I would love it too. I think I'm gonna buy it at some
Yeah,
point.
The
Is
Last
it
of
on
Us.
is it on Steam?
I think so.
I think it's a storytelling sort of 3D shooter. You know, like
Mm.
I have played similar games to that, and I think I would like this too. Yeah, lovely. So going back to horrors, I'm gonna ask this question. Can you learn English from horror movies? Because let's remind everyone, Jolly,
Yep.
both both you and I are English teachers, right? So
Hmm.
we might as well explore this idea, or let's say question.
I think you I think you can learn English from any movie you watch.
Really?
Anything you watch in English, there
Mm.
is always something to be learned.
Okay.
That's my idea. It's true that when you watch a horror movie, maybe depending on the horror movie, of course. For example, if you watch The Exorcism of Emily Rose, this is
Mm.
a very interesting movie which contains lots of because the movie happens in a court, okay?
Yeah.
So you've got the lawyers and there are a lot of witnesses and they make like declarations, I don't know, claims or I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know the word. So
Statements. I don't know.
there are a
Something like.
lot of conversation there, so you can learn a lot. Then there are other horror movies in which
Mm.
you can only see one girl entering a house. Is
Yeah.
anybody there? And then silence and things happen, and there is less conversation.
Well, you learn the phrase "Is
So
anybody there," which could be quite
yeah,
useful as well.
the question that nobody is going to
No,
reply
no, it
ever.
is very useful because, for
Hmm.
example, imagine you're going to the toilet
Yeah.
and you can't see the
You you
person's
don't know
legs.
if it's yeah, okay.
Well, some people do weird stuff in the toilet, or they do their business in a certain way, and you may not even see their legs, right?
Yeah.
So by asking the question, "Is anybody there?"
Is anybody there? Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a useful way to find out.
Yes. But yes,
uh,
you can learn English, I think. Of course. There is always something
yeah.
to learn.
However, just to play the devil's advocate, I would say that those generally don't seem to be the best movies to pick because uh, there are long sequences of silence,
Yeah.
but like music slows down, and it is about
Hmm.
the atmosphere, about the music, about the camera, right? How it's shot, and it has to be done in a way that you are scared, and that's what it is about, right? It's not really about people talking to each other much, although some films might be like that, as you mentioned. So yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm. Okay, Max adds that he's a big fan of Stephen King. Um, yeah,
But the best movies,
I've seen the
yeah.
Green Mile, yeah,
Hmm.
and yeah, I think the other one too. Hmm. Okay, Max seems to be an expert.
A Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my God. This film like created a trauma in me. Like when I
Really,
was, yeah,
really.
when I watch it.
So why do you do this to yourself then? Like, why do you watch this? That you
Well,
want to have?
this wouldn't happen to me anymore, but I was younger.
Mm.
Um, and this film again was like The Exorcist. It was like the first kind of film like this type. It was so, so scary. And I remember one scene particularly that
Mm.
was in my head, like stuck in my head for so many time.
Yeah,
I couldn't sleep at night. It was horrible.
yeah. Well,
So
I'm
yeah.
so sorry to hear
And
that.
it's not a really good film, to be honest. I don't think it's a great film, but
Mm.
I would say it's a classic. It's
Mm.
the first of its kind, let's say.
I'm so sorry that you had that trauma, but you kind of brought it upon yourself, right? So, by watching. How old were you when you watched that?
Probably 14, 13.
Okay, maybe it was not your fault that you ended up watching it. Someone else
Mhm.
should have looked after you.
I don't know,
Any,
but
I don't.
I'm always been curious about um, horror movies, horror stories. In fact, when I was a teenager, I used to read horror stories, like short stories and books related to mystery, thrillers, things like that. So I've been always interested in that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Suspense and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like things that are closely related to it, but I just don't necessarily need to see someone's leg chopped off. I just don't, just not my cup of tea. Yeah, but if it happens as part of something else, like when it's super unexpected, like in a, I don't know, in a TV show
Hmm.
which is about something completely different, and then this happens there, it's a great moment because I'm shocked, I'm surprised, I am something unexpected happens, right? But if it's a horror movie, you will watch it for that. That's my argument. People watch it for that, exactly that, and I don't want that. It's predictable, too predictable for me. Uh,
Well, there are films that are not predictable at all.
okay, fair enough. Maybe I'll change my mind,
Hmm.
and you will have to help me fall asleep later on. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, what makes a good horror movie, Jolly?
The surprise element, as you said, mm, originality,
That,
something.
that's a good point actually, because you want to do something nobody has done before, or
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So
Or any
there is. Sorry,
no, yeah, go
were
on.
you? I was thinking about a movie I watched some time ago, which is called It Follows.
Hmm?
And I think this movie is so original. Is nothing, I mean, it has nothing to do with all the horror movies I have watched in the past, and I have watched so many.
Okay.
And it really surprised me because you don't expect what's going to happen. In fact, you don't understand what's happening because you are watching the movie and you don't really get it.
Hmm.
Um, But the thing that is something that nobody had done before, at least
Okay.
that I knew, I think that makes a really good movie. And in my
Okay.
opinion, that was a really
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
one.
I think it's some sort of a principle that would apply to not only horror movies but
Hmm.
originality. I think particularly in horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there is another element that I think it's important, and is the
Hydrogenium,
um, what?
oxygen.
Oxygen. No, I was thinking about these movies that let you think, or let you think in after you have watched them,
Hmm?
because the movie is not really, they don't have like a close end, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Oh
So
yeah,
they
open
leave
end.
the
They have
story
an open
open.
end.
They
Hmm.
have an open end,
Yeah,
so it's up
up
um,
to your
to the
imagination.
audience, uh,
Hmm.
you know, whatever you want to think
And
about
you
it.
can interpret it in different ways, I suppose. And
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Mm. And
So and
it's
some
sort of, yeah, it sort of makes you wonder. It leaves you with that feeling like,
it leaves you
hmm,
with the feeling that is that was actually true, or did it
or
happen in the
did
real,
did 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 I get it? Did I understand it? Or
or
and then you may discuss it with your friends and whoever
yeah.
you watch it with. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's something I want to ask you. Like, there must be a massive difference between watching a horror movie on your own and watching it
Yes.
with someone, right? So you say
Yeah.
you watch it with your boyfriend. So isn't that kind of it's I mean, it's not very brave, is it? Like you need someone to
Well, if I tell you that my boyfriend, listen, my boyfriend is, gets scared so much, or, or
of
much
you.
more than me.
Oh, okay.
Not of me in the movie.
Oh, okay. I
So
thought you
I am braver. I am braver
you're
when
braver.
we are watching a horror
So,
movie. I am the brave.
so you watch horror movies because of him. You're trying to help him stay calm or
No,
no.
not really. But he gets scared more often. Sometimes I get scared because he
Mm,
gets scared. Like, what are you
I
doing?
see. I see.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, your threshold is different than your boyfriend's.
My what?
Threshold, like your limit, sort of. like your
Mm-hmm.
limit, how much you
Yeah.
can take. You
Mm-hmm.
can take more than your boyfriend, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
I
Yeah.
think that's what it is. Okay, I was just looking at some of my questions here. Okay, is there something you would not watch? Yeah, is there some sort of line that you wouldn't cross? Because you know, is there? Do you understand my question? Like, because
Yes.
horror
Mm-hmm.
movies it could be about anything. So, um, body parts chopped off. Some there are
Yeah.
horror movies
Yeah.
about people who eat
I don't
people.
really. I don't really like that. No.
So, is that the line that you would stop watching it, or is
Yeah.
that the
Probably.
yeah? But that's how I imagine a horror movie.
And you know something else, and it's something you said before. When the movie is set in the university, and all these young students go to a house to celebrate a party, and everybody dies. So this
Yeah,
kind of when I start watching the film and I see this, no,
it's a no for you.
that will cross the line.
Red flag. Red flag for
Yes,
Jolly.
yes.
Is it because it's just too much to take, or is it just too boring
Too,
for
too
you? Too
boring,
predictable.
predictable.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's
The
much more. It's pretty much the same. It's
ki-
like
yeah, the killer is always the gardener and yeah, the
probably,
host of the party or like this. No, yeah.
and anything makes sense in these
Mm.
movies for me, in
Okay,
my
that's
opinion.
that's that's fair enough. So it's like a cliche, kind of becomes a
Hmm.
cliche. Mm.
Yeah.
I see. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay then. If any of you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments because to be honest, I sort of forgot to prepare questions and I jotted down a few right before we started recording, so broadcasting. So I have to be honest with you today. I'm not that well prepared with my questions. So I think that's actually it. I think I've just run out of them.
But there were the good questions, I think.
Yeah.
You had good questions there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thanks. Okay then. Yeah, Julie. I mean, if there are no more questions from our listeners or viewers,
Hmm.
then I don't have much feedback. It's just like few words which,
Let's see them.
um, yeah, which I just want to make sure that we know how to pronounce.
Alien. I know you are going to tell me this.
Yeah,
Alien, and I remember the Police song. I'm an alien.
yeah,
I'm illegal alien.
but it's
Alien.
alien. Yeah,
Alien.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. Okay, can you guys see this?
Aliens. Okay.
Yeah.
Anxiety.
Okay. So how do you pronounce this one then again?
Anxiety.
Yeah, you need to say the g sound there. G.
And what do you mean?
Anxiety.
Oh, anxiety. Anxiety. All right. Not just an S. Anxiety. Anxiety.
Hang on,
Anxiety.
hang on. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. 1 second. I'm just gonna check it. Say it again. How would you say it?
Anxiety.
Yeah, it's something wrong with it. I think it's anxiety. I thought
Anxiety.
it's good, but it's not.
Anxiety.
It's not good. I just checked it. It's actually the sound. So
Okay.
anxiety, anxiety. Yeah,
Anxiety.
okay,
Anxiety.
anxiety. So it's the Spanish thing. We have talked about this before. Yeah. So sometimes when you should pronounce, I think
Mm-hmm.
it happens when you have a stressed syllable mainly, right? When you should pronounce when you should pronounce z, you're pronouncing s.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. So
Spanish.
it's a Spanish. It's a Spanish thing.
Yeah.
So it's in anxiety. Anxiety. Yeah.
Anxiety.
Hmm.
Better.
Okay. And the next this one.
No, I can't believe it. I pronounced it well.
Did
I did
you?
it wrong.
I'll say it again. Maybe.
Focused.
Yeah.
Focused.
This is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. How about this one?
Curious. Curious.
I think it's Q. Q,
Curious.
curious, right?
Curious. Maybe,
Curious.
yeah. Could
Yeah,
be.
it is cure,
Q, like music.
like tourist,
Future. To
poor, like tourist. So curious.
curious.
Hmm.
Curious.
Curious.
Nail biting.
Yeah, that's correct. Nail biting. Hmm.
Nor
I think that
beating.
would that would okay. Um, how about this
Go
one?
ghosts.
Perfect. Ghosts.
Okay. Ghosts.
Yeah. Uh, H is silent. Ghosts.
hmm
And this one, I think,
Aliens.
yeah. Now it's perfect. There are
Okay.
more words which people struggle with, which have this a sound, like this one. Strange.
Strange.
Yeah. Or
Danger.
exactly. Angel as well.
Angel.
I used to mi-
Danger.
I used to mispronounce these words for a long time, actually, for a long time, even when I had my podcast. And then once I learned what's wrong with angel, I
hmm
misspelled it. Yeah, I think I did. And then I learned that it's aliens. What's wrong with this? Fix the
Angels.
yeah. The
Why?
it's fine. It's just it's suggesting that I should fix the agreement mistake.
Okay.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I know why. Because like this one is in plural. This one, what's this? And
That's an adjective.
yeah, it's expecting it to be plural as well for some reason. Never mind. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Okay.
understand that it's just a list of words that I want people to pronounce that have the same sound. Um, how about this one?
Particularly.
Not too bad. The first sound is the first syllable
Pa.
contains the schwa sound, so
Schwan.
it's
Pa.
yeah,
Pa.
pat-
Particularly.
particularly, particularly.
Particularly.
Yeah.
Particularly.
In
That's a
British
very
English,
long
the
word.
R is silent. Particularly. Some people,
Particularly.
some British people would say particularly as well. They would reduce the number of syllables. So
hmm
instead of saying particularly, they would say particularly,
Yeah.
particularly. So they would make 4 syllables instead of 5. Yeah. All right, Jolly. I think that will be it. I'm just gonna quickly check if we've got some comments, but I think I'm naive. We don't. But thank you very much for featuring in today's live. I'm going to
Thanks to you for
be
inviting me.
yeah anytime. It was a really good topic. I think well chosen topic. I
hmm
I learned new things, and I think we had a nice discussion about it.
Okay.
And if you guys feel like you would like to have discussions in English about topics like that or some other topics, then why don't you join the Achievers Chamber, which is the Discord group that I run. And not only will you meet Jolly there, but other people that often feature on this YouTube channel, and some people that don't because they are shy and they prefer being in the group. And I think Jolly couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, uh, she disconnected by mistake, I think. Oh, let's see what
I'm
she
here.
says.
I'm here. I don't know what I've done. I was
you've just
trying to I
you
was
you've
trying
just
to
you
close a window
no
and
you've
I
just
just closed this one.
you've just
So
interrupted my sales
I'm
pitch.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. It was kind of a scary moment though, so I think it was a fantastic end to this.
Did you ask the question?
What was the question?
Is anybody there?
Okay.
Right.
Who am I even talking to? Are you a real
I'm
person,
here.
or
I'm
are you
here.
are you a ghost, a Spanish ghost?
Who knows?
Exactly. There's only one way to find out. I don't know what the way is, but there's only one way for sure. Please, guys, don't forget to give us a like as well. And that's it. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. And next week, rest assured that there will be another live show, same time. Okay. Take care, Jolly.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.